Hello, welcome to another video. The snow has gone, the rain has gone, but it has left us with really wet lawns all over the country. Now, if you're struggling to get on your lawn, I'm going to show you something that you can use today to start improving the drainage in your lawn so you can get on after the weather like we've had over the weekend. But before we can crack on with that, we need to give this lawn a cut, the first cut that it's had in the last 2 weeks. So we'll get on with that and let's see the state of play. So just have a quick walk over. It's looking alright for this time of year. What I said was what we're looking for is colour, disease resistance, and if we can get a stripe, then great. So what we'll do is we'll give it a cut with the Rotary to pick all these leaves up along the bottom edge. Then we'll get on with the cylinder and then polish it up, because this will probably be the last cut this year, I would think, unless this kind of warm snap continues. Well, if you can get out on your lawn, then it needs a cut, give it a cut, there's no harm in that. But if you can't, because it's too boggy, we've got the fix for you.
Okay, so we're first up with the hater. This is just to give the lawn a cut, just to reduce some of that length before we go on with the cylinder, but mainly it is to pick up all the leaves at that bottom end, because the cylinder won't do this.
Okay, so that's the Rotary cut done. Very wet down this left side and in that bottom corner, but we know that from last year it was the same. The bottom end generally gets wetter because it's obviously running downhill, so, and we've got the sleepers there which are creating like a retainer for the water to sit there. So we're going to address that later in the video. So what we'll do now is we'll get the sterling out for the first time in a few weeks, and we'll get this cut with the cylinder and it should look even better.
Okay, so now on with the Alex Sterling, just cut in at 28mm today. No particular reason for this. The machine was already set at that and good height to go on at. Keep it a little bit longer than normal just to help keep moss away.
Alright, so that's the cylinder cut done. It's looking very nice for November 25th. I can't complain at all. See now that little bit of wetness down that left side just rearing its head, but the next rainfall that'll get washed through. We've had all kinds of animals running up and down that this year. We've had deer and we've had moles causing havoc, and a few weeks ago just over there Mark had some mole hills and he got rid of them. We've not had anything since, so hopefully it was just a one time only. But yeah, November, end of November, I'm very pleased. Let's get on with the drainage now. Okay, so we're on to the part now where I'm going to talk about how to improve drainage in your lawn without doing a right lot. So there's no digging trenches, no bringing gravel in, no putting a pipe in, having to lift your patio up to get a bit of an outlet. All it is drainage in a bag. So what I'm going to do is I've set up a little experiment behind you, so I'm going to show you how it works and the science behind it. Okay, so this is how drainage in a bag works. So before us we have two margarine tubs. I drilled straight through both, so there's exactly the same amount of holes in each tub. Filled one with mushy peas. This is emulating clay under the ground, so water can't pass through, and this is what happens in science under a microscope when we apply drainage in a bag. So say heavy rain, we put on, your water's going nowhere. So what happens is we sprinkle our drainage in a bag on, and over time, through a process called flocculation, our positively charged ion in the calcium attracts like a magnet the negatively charged clay particle, and over time we end up with, under the microscope, this is just enlarged, we end up with percolation because we have bigger particles of clay. So when it rains and we go and put the water on again, it can just drain straight through. And not only that, when clay allows water to pass through, it starts to dry out, and this is how football pitches work in terms of their drainage. Once that ground starts to dry out underneath, they've got drains as well, but then the clay fractures and fissures and the water can pass through all the gaps that are created by that. So that is how drainage in a bag works. So let's get it on.
Now, the particle size of drainage in a bag is very small. So if we have the setting on 29 on the spreader, it's going to run out in no time at all. So today I just opted just to go on at 24 just to see how that worked, and it worked a treat. Okay, so that's the drainage in a bag on. 24 on the setting there was absolutely perfect. I just had a little bit left in the bottom, so I just did another couple of runs up and down this left side, just because we know we need that more there. People who've used it already, just after one application, are seeing that water is dispersing off the surface a lot quicker, and they're able to get on the lawn now at times when they wouldn't have been able to. So it's great news going forward. If your lawn, of course, is built on piece of concrete or builder's rubble, then it's not going to work for you. But if it is clay, it will do a job for you and cut down on that need to do the big drainage jobs. But not only is it getting the water through the surface quicker, obviously with that we're going to reduce the risk of the moss coming back as well. So on here in the spring, we're going to be able to get on it quicker because it's going to be dry, and we're going to be able to do less scarifying because we're not going to have the same moss problems as last year. So all good. And just to finish off and keep up the good work that we've been doing, I'm just putting on the winter trio, Dan's Winter Magic, Refine and Winter Shield, just to keep up with the colour, just to keep any disease that may be lurking at bay.
Okay, that's this video done and dusted. Hopefully you've enjoyed it and you've learned something about how drainage in a bag works at very least. So talking about that, all we've got to do now is let the rains come again and wash that through, along with the winter trio that I put on as well. So join us next time on Daniel Hibbert Lawn Expert, when we might be doing something lawn related, or we might be doing something patio related, because we've got the outside to power wash and repair as well. So we'll see what comes first. At this time of year, as you know, it's all weather dependent on whether we can get on the lawns and stuff. But if I can do something lawn related, you know I will. So we'll see you next time here on Daniel Hibbert Lawn Expert. Bye for now. Whoa, you're going to go to waste otherwise.